Cheers and welcome to Bitter Reality Brewing. Yes, we're not only brewing a West Coast IPA from iGulu, it is a double IPA. That's right, 7.5 to 8%. Yeah. Citra, tons and tons of Citra. Yeah, aroma hops. Yeah, it's got some bittering hops too, but aroma hops. And yeah, I'm super, super stoked. Forget excited, I'm stoked. Love a good West Coast IPA. And this is a double West Coast IPA, kicking up around 7.5 to 8%. And it's got more malts than you would expect if you've done an iGulu before. So yeah, show me a little love, appreciate you. And check this out. I'm been dying to get this brewed since I got it a few days ago. So I'm gonna go over what comes in the packet, okay? I'm not even gonna read it, I'm gonna show it to you. So if you've done an iGulu kit before, you know you usually get 1 pound. That's right, 1 pound. This is just a Golden Light Pilsner. Golden Light is usually a mild blend of Pilsner malts. Then it comes with an additional 3.5 ounce or 1,000 grams of light Pilsen, or Pilsner, however you want to say it, based on where you're from. And then I know this is not as common in West Coast IPAs, this ingredient, but I have seen it. I know several of them out there. I've made one where I had a little bit of this in here. And yeah, 3.5 ounces of wheat. That's right, wheat malt. I know you're like, what? Yeah, it's gonna carry the mouthfeel a little more. It adds some smoothness. And shockingly, the one I did quite a while ago clarified like crazy. So, and usually wheat doesn't let you get too clear, and West Coast is known for being a little bit more on the clear side. So now this is the crazy part. Okay, of course I've got the yeast, number 07. I believe that's a new one. I don't remember seeing 07 before unless it was with the pale ale. The RFID, which you just swipe it and brew. It's that easy, not a big deal. Bittering hops, I got 2 that say 15 each. Okay. Now, I am assuming that the aroma hops probably add a little bittering to it, and that's why they didn't go crazy over there. But, yeah, I got 4 of these bad boys. 4. And they kind of made the packaging kind of cool. It's kind of a light purple with little pictures of hop plants. But yeah, okay. That's the Citra, and we have 4 of them. I have the water, don't have to measure. It's got a mark, just measure it, put your water in there. Do recommend spring water. If you're into, doing your own brewing salts, that's your call. If you need help and you want to do something like that, let me know, I'll help you out. But otherwise, spring water is good. And yeah, I mean, that's just beautiful. Yeah. So, what are we waiting for? Let's start brewing, okay? Yeah, if you haven't already, appreciate that. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add the bittering, okay? Bittering just says natural hop bitter extract, okay? Pop that bad boy open. Warning, if you haven't been here before, do not taste test this stuff. It's super bitter. That's why it's a bittering. Okay, and when you put that in there, it's gonna get it all kind of cloudy looking. That's normal. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Don't lose any sleep over that one. There might be a drip or 2 in left. Let it go. It's very hard for people like me. Yeah. If you're OCD, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, now we're adding the aromatic or aroma hops. Yep, you add it right on in there. We're not doing any dry hopping here, just saying. If I remember right, yeah, it's like a dark brown. I'll show it to you here. Okay, jump forward, knock out these next 3, and then I'll show it to you. Okay, that's it. If you really love the smell of hops and aroma, yeah, very nice. Very, very, very nice. Now we're gonna go ahead and I'll show you, kind of see that dark stuff on the bottom? Yeah. You do not have to stir. I do not recommend shaking because you'll get stuff stuck on the bottom of here, which is really gross. But if you do want to stir, you can stir. I'm gonna stir up the hops, mainly because I want to see how dark the water gets before I add any of the malts. It's more for visual. Yes, I have a clean paper towel. Yes, everything's been sanitized. Yeah, looks kind of like a slightly dark lemonade. I'm okay with that. Well, I'm gonna add the 2 smaller packets first. Just makes it a little easier, I think, although really can be either way. So, I'm using a razor blade, simply cut that open. Oh, there is a little cut mark, so I could have pulled. Did not see that. I know there's not one in the big packet, not that I've ever seen. So simply, this is all we're doing. Let me get something so you can see what I'm doing here. Bringing you up a little closer so you can see. Turn this so nothing blocks the view. Simply take this. If you've never done this before, pour slow. It is like powder, almost like talcum powder. This stuff is such a fine, dry extract from malts. And that is 1 packet. There we go. Okay, let's see if we have a tear. We do. We have little marks on. This one's a little sticky. This stuff can get stupid sticky, so be very careful. Like I just did. I dumped powder everywhere. There we go. So that is the dry malt Bavarian wheat. And the other one is the Pilsen, or also known as Pilsner, based on where you're from, or what you want to call it. I don't care either way. Now we're gonna do this one. But before we do that, because it's gonna be harder and harder to get this stuff to dissolve, I'm gonna stir again. Not everybody agrees with me on the stirring, but that's okay. I'm doing 2 things here. I'm oxygenating the water so that there'll be a little more oxygen in there, which yeast likes in the beginning because it'll eat it and grow and reproduce. And then when there's no more oxygen, it'll just start eating all the sugar. Okay, it's gonna be getting fun trying to get the rest of this to dissolve. So I may give up, I may not let it all dissolve. A little trickier if it's, you know, airtight, stupid airtight, like this one is. Poke a tiny little hole in it. And I do mean tiny. And then boom, air will start going in. That way you won't make a big mess. Super clean razor blade or a pair of scissors are very useful. Be careful, your mileage may vary, and just be very careful. Very, very careful, okay? Because this stuff, like I said, it's like super fine sand, almost like talcum powder. And you can make a huge, huge mess. It will start sticking just from the moisture in the air. Okay, that is like stupid full. I mean, yeah, I was worried. And make sure you don't fill past the 116 ounces. Just don't do it. And if it told me to not put quite that much water in there, I missed it, so. Nope, everything's as usual. So again, like I said, your mileage may vary, you don't have to. I stir. This is almost like I'm making cookie dough. There we go. It's starting to break apart a little bit. Like I said too, if you shake it, you're gonna end up with a bunch of gunk on the bottom. So not my personal recommendation. And of course I got some stuff up on here on the sides, which I'm trying to get off. Okay, now I do have a concern. Yes, I have a concern. Here's my concern. Historically, when I've added extra sugar or anything to one of the 1 pound kits, I get a little bit more trub, yeast poop, whatever you want to call it, parts of the malts that fall out of suspension on the bottom, to the point that this straw sometimes sucks a little bit of that up there. There's 2 solutions. One, get a spare keg. make a jumper with the cable and stuff from the spare keg so that you can move all the beer, once it's done, over to a fresh keg. Yeah, you'll get it off the trub, basically the yeast poop. So you move it from one to another. Do you need 2 iGulus? No, you just need 2 kegs and they'll come with what you need. But you hook that in there, you move it on over, then you take that keg and you put it back in your iGulu and take the other one and wash it because it'll be full of yeast poop. It's not really yeast poop, but technically it kind of is. So, okay, so we've got that done. Now, the other option, I told you there was 2 options. This is third party, but you can buy a floating dip tube and you can put that in there. What a floating dip tube does is instead of pulling from the bottom, it pulls from the top down. So it's another solution, not a big deal. I've used it in previous videos where I've added a lot of dry hops and things like that. So this is the yeast. Again, it's kind of airtight. So I know, it does have a tear, but either I'm not strong enough or the packet is very, very thick. Okay, so I'll let some air in. I got all the yeast into the bottom. There's quite a bit of yeast in here. It's just 0.14. I think that's a double packet. I think historically it's been about half that. Pretty sure. So now you take this and just don't dump it. I like to sprinkle it out, kind of spread it around. Okay, you don't have to shake it, you don't have to stir it, just put it in there. It'll start getting wet, it'll start going in, it'll start reproducing if you have some oxygen in there. If not, it'll just start eating the sugars. Okay, like I said, there's 2 solutions. This is a floating dip tube. It's third party, but if you decide to do something like that, you can put it in just before it starts fermenting, or you can do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait about 24 hours so the yeast really gets going, and then I'm gonna open it up carefully, put it in, close it back up, and let it go, okay? So for now, all I need is this, which is super clean, which is the lid. I put that on there. Don't forget your C-clamp. Why? Because you don't wanna have something go boom. Okay. That's not it, but we're very close. I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna set it in the iGulu, and then I'm gonna show you the rest. If you haven't gone ahead and like, subscribe, please do so. I definitely appreciate the support. Huge to the channel, more than you realize. Pop my little CO2 on there. Why do I put the CO2 on? Because I wanna know what the pressure is. Okay, let me move you in. Okay, now you can see. I'm gonna swipe this over here on the RFID. And it says Citra West Coast Double IPA. We say next. It says 10 days at 69 degrees Fahrenheit, 4 days at 35 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's more of conditioning. It'll technically be ready, but that's a conditioning. So it's starting off, it's telling you what the temperature is, and it's going to adjust the temperature as needed. Go ahead and put no, I did not put the liquid in there. I don't need the liquid line yet. I'm gonna let this ferment first. Pull back here. Okay, so once this is done fermenting, I'll do the taste test. I'll release the video of the brew day, and then 24 hours later, I'll have the taste test out on the double West Coast IPA, Imperial West Coast IPA, however you want to call it. If you have an iGulu, or if you don't have an iGulu, yes, I'll leave links down below. You can go click on the links, go check it out. And yeah, let me know what you think. If you have an iGulu, let me know if you've already ordered the West Coast IPA. Definitely curious. And then once you taste test it, let me know what you think. I don't even know yet. It's first time. So we'll see how that goes. Like, subscribe, keep sharing. Definitely appreciate the support. Cheers.